tacked in place my bow extensions that I'm putting on this year. The intention is to sharpen I want to sharpen the bow. I found it plowed the water just a little bit while I'm cruising, and I don't know if this is going to make any difference in efficiency or not, but if it cuts down on the gurgling water noise at the front, I think that would be a benefit just while I'm cruising. Now when I go to test for planing at a higher speed, this bow section should be probably out of the water. And same with the other side. I have that one done, and you can see how much narrower it is. I use 1/2-inch plywood as this extension. The old stem here was about 1.5 inches wide, and that just plowed the water a little bit too much. So I'll be filling in at the sides. I'll be tapering that in with a mixture of epoxy resin and filler, and then I will sand this to a smooth surface, glass it, and I'm going to put a stem band around the ends as well, because I'll probably be at some point in my trips just coming to a point where I'm beaching it, and yeah, if it's on gravel, it could scrape the fiberglass. So this is the bow extension I'm working on, and I've got a couple layers of epoxy resin and filler on there and sanded, and I've got a few touch-up spots I have to do before I can glass it, but it's coming along very nicely, and you can see the front edge is quite sharp. That is pretty much perfect. It'll when I put the stem band on, that'll be the exact width, and should cover that edge quite nicely. That'll give it some good protection. So I've got to do some touch-up on epoxying. A few little spots here, build that up. Same with the other side. This one's worse. I got a few pockets in there I have to build up, but it's coming along quite nicely. So hopefully one more coat of filler will do the trick, and then sand it, then glass it. It's been a long process because I've hardly had any days that I could work on it. Today's a nice beautiful day. It's going to get to +7, and of course it's April 3rd today. So it's been a cold, wet spring. Haven't had the opportunity to get out here and do the work I wanted, but the weather's starting to change. So the filling and sanding is complete. I'm ready for glassing, and the bow sections have come out quite nice. You can see different color aspect of different fillers that I use. I typically like to use sawdust mixed with resin and then some microbeads, microfiller added in. The more microfiller you add in, the easier it is for sanding. But what I like about the sawdust is you mix up a nice consistent batch, kind of like a peanut butter type batch, and it doesn't sag at all. Whereas I find the microfiller, if you even if you whip it up quite thick, it tends to sag. So it's easier to sand, but it sags more. Anyways, I use a combination of the two, and it seems to work out all right. So next, I'm going to be glassing. So I might I might be able to just sand this, or I might have to put another coat of epoxy and filler on here. I'm not sure if that'll sand out. Anyways, it's getting pretty good. I'll make that decision later. Maybe I'll try sanding it later, but it's coming out really nice and sharp. That should slice through the water nicely. I got some primer on the bows, getting it ready for painting. I'm going to be sanding down the entire hull just lightly with probably 220 grit, and then repainting it. I never really cared for this type of paint. It came out too flat, so I'm going to add some gloss to it. So I finished giving the boat sanding, and I'm going to, and it's all masked off now, I'm going to do topside painting next, and then in a couple days I'll have to jack the boat up and do the bottom coating. Bit of a rainy day today, but I want to show you the finished bow sections, painted, complete, ready to launch, with the stem bands on. And I've broken this video up into several modules for modifications. This is just on the bow extensions, and the next videos will be on the new canopy, and then I'll be doing an installation of the motor, and later on a launch video.